Hello, and welcome back to Mortals and Portals, a Pathfinder real play podcast. I am your host and GM, Zach, and joining me at the table is...
Adam, and I play Jhuls, an Azraketi bard.
I'm Joel, and I play some guy you'll meet soon.
I'm Ryan, and I am good enough. Sorry, I was confusing my morning routine.
Oh, you did? Can I go? Okay. I don't know if Ryan had more.
Taryn always waits so patiently.
Because there's no way we can get through, like, 4 of us talking without, like, derailing, and then Taryn just has to wait for it to be his turn.
My name's Taryn, and I play Waltz, a human champion.
Okay, I guess this time only Taryn lied.
Yeah.
Good,
Liar.
Taryn, what's wrong? Well, and Ryan, technically.
No, you already said
Oh, dang.
Yeah, because we are doing Jhuls' origin.
What? You didn't tell me that?
Yar! Yeah, we thought since Jhuls is taking a nap in the regular campaign, we might as well, do his origin. And that means that Taryn is not playing Waltz because
Yeah,
they're
it's
going to
true.
be playing
I lied.
NPCs. You know the drill by now. You've listened to a few origin episodes. And Adam will be playing Jhuls, as usual. So yeah, they're playing NPCs, and I know that doesn't really make sense because NPC is non-player character and their players playing characters, but shut up, okay?
Oh.
So that's what we're doing.
Dang it, Zach. We're
That's
going to
what
take a
we're
big
doing.
hit
Just
for that.
We lose every subscriber.
I'd like to release our
the most
apology
downvoted
right now.
thing.
Gosh, dang it.
They only like it when I tell you guys to shut up at the end of the episode, but they're like, whoa. I don't want that pointed at me. I don't want that energy.
It's too harsh.
All right, here's my scene setting monologue. The tropical aquatic world of Aquaria is a lawless and free planet. Its many islands and open seas harbor many hidden secrets and looming dangers, attracting traders, adventurers, and criminals from all corners of Keldora. It is here we find the Azraketi bard Jhuls, carefully balancing a cluster of ales in the Salty Sailor, an infamous tavern on the island of Arcados. As he scans the diverse crowd, he spots his companion, Tough, waving at him through a thick haze of cigar smoke. He makes his way through the packed tavern, overhearing the rambunctious chatter of scoundrels, and takes a seat next to his longtime friend. So we'll cut over to you, Jhuls.
Here you are, Tough. 1 for you, 2 for me.
Jhuls, you're finally here, huh? Yeah, I got you one already.
So 3 for me.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, Ryan is playing Tough, the NPC. So Ryan, real quick, do you want to describe what Tough looks like and any little bit of background about him?
Yeah, I'm tough enough. Just kidding, I don't know if that's the last name, but that would be cool. I just thought of that.
All right. Ooh, okay.
So Tough.
You know the NPCs are going to die in this episode, so don't make me kill him immediately with bad puns like that. So
Tough is an automaton. He's a small automaton, and he was designed to look sort of like a cat. So he's got like metal cat ears. His body's metal. He's got like a metal tail that comes out. He wears goggles on his forehead, but he does have some like artificial cat hair that kind of pokes out between those goggles. And yeah, that's how he looks, I guess.
That's awesome.
he has anime cat ears, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Yeah, Jhuls, bottoms up.
I'll cheers my companion, and I'll start chugging on the pints.
Even if I can't taste it, there's just something about enjoying a drink with a bud, huh?
Yes, Tough, I've been meaning to ask you, where does the ale go?
Boy, I don't think you'd like to know, but you know all that time I spend behind the bar once we're done drinking? That's emptying a few ports, if you will.
Do I dare ask where you empty them?
Back into the keg.
Well, I was built anatomically, if that helps.
All right. I'm sorry I asked.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of, Jhuls?
What?
Do you remember that time when we had probably one of the easiest cons we've ever had together, when we convinced that thug at the Crazy Kraken Tavern to face me in a drinking competition?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the degenerates out there have never seen an automaton in their life, and you got them to believe I was already drunk. Little did they know, automatons don't feel the effects of alcohol. Easiest bit of silver we ever made.
Had it made in 5 minutes.
Easy peasy. I cheers him again.
Oh, Tough. Now that pleasantries are out of the way, let's get down to business.
Yeah, brass tacks. Let's do it.
Yes. So, what is the plan? Why are we here?
Sure, let's go through it again. I guess this is why I'm the planner, and you're the one that helps me carry it out, huh?
I guess so.
So, remember, earlier today, I overheard some merchants talking on the docks. Apparently, Captain Perry had come up to them, said he was looking to sell some valuable merchandise, we'll say. The merchants at the time said it was way out of their price range, so I'm guessing it's something pretty good. And I can see him over there right now. Don't look, don't look.
Okay, I'm not looking.
You sort of peek a glance,
I'd slowly look back.
and you see a tengu, which is a bird-like creature, but you know tengus from Aquaria usually look like exotic birds, so he looks like this very colorful parrot, and he's sitting at a table with a big captain's hat on with a very long, bushy, colorful feather sticking out of his cap. He's sitting at the table with some of his fellow pirates, and he is looking at himself in a mirror, giving himself little kisses and raising his eyebrow, and then he tucks the mirror away in his cloak and looks towards the stage as a bard is playing their lute, and he starts to tap his foot, clearly enjoying the rhythm of the music.
I'll notice that and bring my focus to the bard on stage and think I could do way better than that.
Oh, for sure.
I smile and I turn to Tough. Tough, you need a distraction, do you?
That's right, but I told you not to look. You're gonna get us caught, okay? You're right. You're the distraction, and I'll be the one to swipe the goods.
All right. Let's do the classic song and swipe.
That's right, just like on Cornada and Tevis. Works every time. And I give him a fist bump.
Haha, that it does. All right, be ready.
Go, break a leg or whatever it is you guys are cutting have.
I'll stand up and go to the side of the stage, wait for the bard to be done.
As he walks away, I say, "A fin! I meant break a fin!"
I'll swipe my hand at him like, shut up.
All right. As you prepare for your musical mischief, you wait for the bard playing his lute to finish his song. It comes to a rather unclimatic conclusion. There isn't much reaction amongst the crowd. Of course, a lot of people are very rowdy, drinking their drinks, smoking their pipes, all of those things. Hasn't really captivated the crowd. And the bard looks to you and says, "Tough crowd. Good luck." Steps up from his chair and descends the steps.
Oh,
And the
yes.
stage is yours.
Thank you. Beautifully played, by the way. Hopefully I can do half as good as you did.
If it was so beautiful, why didn't I get paid? And he makes his way into the crowd.
When do we ever?
He looks back at you like, yeah, seriously. And then just keeps walking into the crowd.
I'll take center stage, and I'll take my ocarina out and bring it up to my lips, but pause a moment and just think I really need to play something emotional and captivating, something that's really going to distract and gain the attention of everyone in the tavern. So I'll close my eyes, I'll take a deep breath, and I'll bring the ocarina to my lips.
As you bring the ocarina to your lips, you see Captain Perry take note of your exquisite Azarketi appearance. He seems to be interested in you already, and he leans forward, stroking his chin. You close your eyes and calm yourself and begin to play as you think and reflect on your past, losing yourself in the music, almost forgetting where you are, mentally transporting yourself back in time. You were just a young Azarketi, a child of the Silvera Ocean, when you first hummed that fateful tune. Your parents, Jarvis and Yoslin, discovered you in your humble home, drawing a portrait of yourself and friends. Zeke, the son of King Zolos, and Kyra, the daughter of Kadas, the king's advisor. You had hummed that same tune many times before, wielding the talents passed down through the generations of the Arendath family, the royal bards of Sidonia. Intrigued, your parents asked you about the song, taking note of its exceptional beauty as they smiled down at you. You told them the tune had come to you in a dream, though you felt it was incomplete, and were eager to perfect it. They then handed you an ocarina, a family heirloom, an instrument they claim held the heart of the Arendath family within it. Your unique golden eyes brimmed with joy as you proudly accepted their gift. Time flowed on, and you found yourself playing that same tune in the palace halls with Zeke and Kyra as your only companions. The three of you were inseparable, your bond stronger than the coral that adorned the underwater kingdom. Then came the day when King Jhuls and his advisor, Kadas, interrupted your music. Suspicion clouded their eyes as they demanded to know where you had learned that tune, as if its very nature offended them. The king and his advisor disapproved of you, the lowly bard in their midst, and they ordered you not to play that tune ever again. They sent the trio on their way, Zeke and Kyra's mischievous laughter echoing through the palace halls, though you did not partake in their playful delight as you pondered the tune that earned your disfavor amongst the king before chasing after your friends. You followed them to your favorite hangout spot, a massive pink, coral-like tree. As you climbed its branches, you gazed up at the mist guard, a magical barrier with the appearance of a shimmering sky, a thin yet unbreakable barrier that reflected in your curious golden eyes. The barrier brought Sidonia both protection and exclusion from the rest of the world. Wondering about the mysteries of the surface, you shared your dreams of someday seeing it, but Zeke warned of the dangers waiting there. You longingly gazed upward, Zeke's words echoing in your mind. You then looked away, dismissing your unlikely future, as your eyes met Kyra's, and your heart fluttered, forming an unspoken connection that would shape your destinies. As the years passed, your relationship with Zeke changed. With the prince being groomed to one day take the throne, he became more distant, clouding his brotherly love for you with duty. You discovered that Kyra had been promised to him, a realization that tore at your heart because you had long harbored feelings for her, something you knew she felt as well. Zeke, ever perceptive, noticed the turmoil within you, and consumed by a moment of jealousy, offered a hollow and piercing consolation, suggesting that you play your ocarina at their first dance. You saw Kyra in the distance, tears brimming in her eyes, as her expression filled with sorrow and resignation. The day arrived when you and Kyra, both around 18 years old, decided to run away together. You made secret plans vowing to meet at the coral tree of your childhood. You returned to your family home to gather your belongings, including the ocarina, your mother's necklace, and your father's trident, all steeped in sentimental value. When you finally met Kyra beneath the tree that fused your fates, you were met with a chilling sight. King Jhuls, Prince Zeke, and Kadas were all waiting for you, with the royal guard formed behind them. By royal decree, you were exiled from Sidonia, never to return. Shock and disbelief washed over you as you struggled to make sense of this cruel twist of fate. You didn't understand why they were all there, but you sensed this was what King Jhuls and Kadas had wanted ever since you played that fateful tune in the palace halls all those years ago. Kyra stood in forced silence behind her father, her face contorted in sorrow, knowing it was there your paths would diverge forever. You looked to Zeke, whose face showed the weight of the situation. You felt deep down he still thought of you as a brother. Trying to soften the blow he had dealt, he spoke. "Think of it this way, Jhuls. You'll have everything you've ever wanted up there." He looked above to the Mistguard's gate, then back to Kyra, observing her beauty one last time, as you murmured,
Not everything.
Jhuls, you play the final notes of the song, taking a moment to come back to reality as the weight of your past fills your chest, and slowly the sound of applause brings you back to the tavern. You look up, everyone is clapping, tears in their eyes. You see Captain Perry weeping, clapping feverishly. There are whistles, cheers, money being thrown on stage. You have truly captivated the entire crowd of the Salty Sailor. And as you perhaps wipe tears of your own and scan at all these adoring fans, you see Tuff anxiously waving at you by the tavern exit, signaling he has, in fact, scooped the valuable loot.
I'll kind of come back to reality, maybe smile a little bit, take a bow, walk off stage, and start heading towards the back.
Jhuls, as you make your way through the crowd, a cluster of beautiful women step in your way. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Who are you? They're reaching out to you, trying to grab onto your shoulders, trying to stop you.
Oh, ladies, calm down. I know my music is far greater than anything I'm sure you've heard before. Unfortunately, I don't have time to stay.
Right as you say that, you see the guy who played the lute in the corner kind of like lower his head. And out of the corner of your eye, you see Captain Perry trying to make his way through the crowd to you.
I'll notice that and quickly look back to the ladies and say, maybe some other time. And then I'll start to pick up my pace, maybe even shoving Tough out the door as we make our way out of the tavern.
I swear, Jhuls, you and the ladies, we gotta go now.
What can I say? The beauty of the ocean has blessed me.
I've never even seen you take advantage of that situation, so don't even try.
Who's got the time, Tough? Certainly not us, if we stick around here.
Well, I'd kill for that, but seriously, we gotta go.
Then let's
Cat
go.
robot?
Cat robot.
Like
wants
Joe
some
for
of
that.
you.
I appreciate companionship, okay? Sue me.
I just like to cuddle.
I'll give you some catnip on the ship. Let's go.
Let me show you what these ports can do.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you push him out. You push him outside.
Push him outside.
You guys exit the Salty Sailor. It's about an hour from sunset. You rush down to the docks and see your lovely ship, the Highwind, a small vessel with a single sail with holes in it. It looks quite miserable next to the other formidable, more ornate ships, including Captain Perry's Fancy Feather, a very colorful ship mimicking his unique parrot colors with feathered sails that you see further down the dock. And yeah, so you guys rush down to your ship.
Perfect, right where we left her, Jhuls.
Yes, I don't think anyone's going to steal this thing.
The dockmaster starts running down. Hey, you guys never paid for this!
Quickly, Tough, let's get out of here.
Yep, I'm on it.
Hey! He's like trying to make his way through the crowd. Stop them!
Is there like a net or something, some like cargo being stored that...
Who's in that?
There it is.
Oh, throwback.
It all connects.
Sure, yeah, why not? That sounds like something that'd be on a dock.
All right. I kind of picture a net holding things, and I'll point a finger at it and shoot a magic missile to make the cargo fall behind us.
All right, you stick out your finger, shoot a magic missile, it singes the net, a bunch of cargo falls, blocking the passageway for the dock master, quartermaster. I don't know what they're called. The guy who makes sure you pay to park your ship at the dock. And he's like, oh no! And he's like trying to work his way around it, having some difficulty. You guys hop into your ship, do your best to ready the sails as fast as you can, and row your way out to sea, catching the seafaring winds and making your way into the open sea.
Whew.
Ah,
Gotta catch
We
my
did it.
oxygen.
do you actually breathe?
It's something like that.
Something like that? I gotta tell you, Tough, we need a bigger ship.
One day, Jhuls, this baby ought to do it for us. And then I pull out whatever it is that I stole from Captain Perry.
So you pull out this very ornate looking orb. It's about the size of a baseball. You can tell it's made of very rare, fine metal that has a dark finish to it and a red shimmer as it catches the light. And it's ordained with many vibrant, ornate jewels, crystals, all sorts of valuable materials. And it sparkles brilliantly. And you can tell you're in possession of something very valuable.
You'll never
Wow.
guess where he kept this thing.
I'm afraid to ask. Well, Tough, we did it.
Yeah, I guess we did, huh?
I'll take a seat and lean back, hands behind my head. Much smoother than our first heist. Do you remember?
Oh, how could I forget?
You found a treasure map said to lead to a legendary stash of riches on a forgotten island, guarded by the fiercest band of pirates Aquaria had ever known. Turned out to be more like a bunch of geriatric sea geezers. The treasure, do you remember the treasure?
Of course.
Jars of fermented pickles and sandy bottles of rum.
Yeah, but if it was true, we would have had it made, Jhuls.
Ah, well, I can't say it was an awful night. Sometimes there's things far greater than gold.
Yeah, like what?
Like friendship and memories.
Yeah.
And a boat that's bigger than a giant bathtub with a handkerchief for a sail.
All right. I get it. First thing we'll buy is a new boat.
Ah, sounds good. Well, should we have a drink?
I thought you'd never ask.
I'll reach in the stash and grab a couple bottles of rum and hand one to my partner in crime.
Bottoms up.
Cheers!
Cheers. I finish sipping my drink, and I gulp and clap my lips, and I say, "Oh man, Jhuls, but this Captain Perry guy, you should have seen him. I knew you were a little distracted up there, but boy, what a character."
Well, yeah, I'd imagine it was pretty easy to swipe this thing.
Absolutely.
How much time he spent looking at himself in the mirror.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And he was squawking the entire time. I could have gone in there wearing a cowbell and he wouldn't have known I was there.
Well, the stories of his flamboyancy are certainly not overreactions.
Yeah, but his feathers were pretty though. I was considering taking one of those too.
It's a good thing you didn't. He might have noticed.
Yeah, quite the colorful guy, but more like a sucker if you ask me.
And I'll cheers him with my bottle of rum again.
You know what I love more than money, Jhuls?
What's that, Tough?
Good company. And you know what would make good company?
Aye. What's that?
A girl. What is it with you and women, huh? Why don't you just find a few every now and then?
Well, why don't you?
You know how bad I am at that.
Yeah, it's hard for women to go after a robotic cat.
I don't see what...
There's nothing else that needs to be said about that.
I don't see what the big deal is. I'm cute, aren't I?
Oh, absolutely adorable.
Thanks, Jhuls.
I don't know, Tough. It's complicated.
Yeah, I get it. But it was pretty funny that one time when you almost got there. I remember you were in the ladies' room and you used your Azarketi heritage as an excuse to leave. I just remember you running out of there yelling, "I need to get wet, I need to get wet."
She had a tub ready to go. It was hilarious.
And then you just dove straight into the ocean and she never saw you again.
Oh, dodged a bullet there.
Actually, though, Annette was a wild one.
I wonder what she's doing now. She's probably still searching for me in the sea.
Well, maybe we should take it a little easy on these drinks. We aren't totally out of hot water yet.
Aye. Well, Tough. After this heist, I'd say it's all looking up from here, buddy.
Absolutely, Jhuls. It's been a real pleasure working with you. Couldn't ask for a better partner or a better friend.
Right back at you, buddy.
The two of you clink your bottles of rum, go to take a sip, but pause for a moment as you see the silhouette of a ship against the setting sun from the direction you just came. You turn your heads and see a very colorful ship with feathered sails barreling after you, gaining on you very quickly.
Tough. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that Captain Perry's ship?
I wince my eyes and some of the cyborg gadgets are like teetering around, trying to like zoom or something. Maybe?
And as you say that, the ship starts to turn, showing its starboard side to you, revealing its cannons.
Are those his cannons?
No, I don't think so.
And as you say that, you hear the crackle of a firing cannon as smoke shoots out of the side of the ship. A cannonball whizzes towards the high wind. Can all of you roll me a fortitude save?
5.
18.
The cannonball strikes your ship, erupts. Jhuls, you dive out of the ship just in time, hoping Tough did the same, but the concussive wave overtakes you, and you fall unconscious.
I seem to do that a lot.
Wouldn't be a Jhuls origin without being unconscious. Jhuls, sometime later, you awaken to the sound of creaking wood, sitting against the hull of a ship in a cell below deck, As you rub your forehead, you take note of the colorful wood of the ship you're in, and know you are in the Fancy Feather. You turn your gaze to the bars restraining you as moonlight pours in the small porthole behind you, and you see Captain Perry standing proudly on the other side of the bars.
I'll look around. Where's Tough?
Where's Tough, you say? Oh, let's just say your friend Tough is scrap metal. And he throws a robotic arm before the bars.
Wow, rude.
I'll look at the arm, and I'll slowly look up at him in anger. You bilge-sucking barnacle. If I get out of here, I'm going to pluck every last one of your feathers and stuff you and mount you on my wall.
His feathers rustle and his eyes grow wide, and he does a few fidgets of his neck as a bird would. Oh, but you will get out of here, see? Because you must tell everyone what happens when you mess with Captain Perry. And he draws his rapier and does a formidable stance, and then spins it and puts it back in its sheath. Did you really think you could get the best of me? If Captain Crookfang couldn't take that treasure from me, what makes you think you could?
You took that from Crookfang? Are you mad?
Well, I wouldn't say I took it, but I certainly beat him to it. Because Captain Perry of the Fancy Feather is not to be trifled with.
Neither is Crookfang. If I don't get to you, he certainly will.
We shall see. There is no faster ship in the sea than the Fancy Feather. As you could see, I ran down your vessel.
A vessel? You could hardly call it that.
Well, it's nothing now.
I'll kick at the bars.
Oh, so scary. Oh, how's our Cutty behind the bars? Oh, look at me, I'm so scared.
Take these chains off and we'll see.
Like I said, I will take those chains off. We are going to maroon you on an island, and then you can swim your way and spread the legend of Captain Perry of the Fancy Feather.
Don't you want me to write you a song or something?
Oh, yes, you're very good at music. Perhaps you could write a tune about how you tried to steal from me, and you paid the price. And as he says that, he puts his hand outward and makes a fist, and you see some electricity dance around his clenched fist.
Is that supposed to scare me?
I don't know. I only blew up your friend with a cannonball and imprisoned you. Maybe that would scare you. And he starts going over to a little table in the corner and just fidgeting through all your stuff. What's this, some sort of fork? And he holds up your trident.
Put it down.
Oh, put it down. And he just kind of throws it into the floor and it stabs into the wood. What's this? Oh, pretty necklace. Ooh, I might keep this one, actually. And he puts it around his neck and closes the clasp.
Put it down.
Oh, scary man behind bars telling Captain Perry of the Fancy Feather what to do. Oh, I'm shaking in my boots. Oh.
This is the
I
best
love this
character
guy.
in
I
the
seriously
world.
love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what's this here? Some sort of shell? Oh, wait. This is the instrument you use to tantalize me with your moving tunes. Most impressive. I'll toss it in the bottom of the ocean or sell it to the first merchant I see. Who knows?
Don't you dare. And I'll shake my chains and...
Oh, no! He's shaking in his chains! Oh, no! I'm so scared! Oh, my gosh! Oh, my gosh! I don't want to kill this guy.
I kind of don't either.
Hey, can this be like the new
This
Geldir?
is
Like,
Ryu's
this
new
is our new
character.
GM character at the party.
Comes on every
Yeah,
adventure. Just roasts you guys constantly.
I'm feeling very frustrated, heartbroken. I just lost my right-hand man, Tough. Rest in peace, buddy. And I just don't know what to do. Was not expecting this outcome. And all my prized possessions are being toyed with and mishandled right in front of me. And I can't do anything about it. So I am ticked.
I'd be angry too.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just, still shaking the chains, kicking around, and I'll hiss at him as well.
When you hiss, he turns towards you and steps very close to the bars and says, "Careful, I might change my mind about marooning you on an island. You should accept my grace, because you could be blown to bits just like your robotic cat pet friend."
I'll grit my teeth.
I'd say I'd sell him for scrap, but he doesn't appear to be too valuable in this state. And he picks up his arm and kind of dances it around in the air and then tosses it off to the side.
Put it down.
Oh, put it down. Oh. He just throws it across the room.
I hiss again.
Remember, Jhuls, there's a new captain to be feared in the Silvera Ocean. Don't you forget it. And suddenly you hear bells ringing on the upper deck. You hear pirates yelling back, "It's the Black Dawn! Ready the cannons! All hands on deck!" And you see Captain Perry's eyes grow wide, bugging out of his head. Oh, crap! He rushes up the stairs. You hear feet running on the deck above you, a lot of commotion. And of course, you know the Black Dawn to be the ship of the truly most feared captain of the Silvera, Captain Crookfang, who Perry boasted that he had stolen from. And you stand up and look out the porthole in your cell, and you see the all-black ship illuminated only by the twin moons of Aquaria, angling to face its cannons towards the Fancy Feather. And you hear another crackle of the cannons firing as smoke puffs out of the Black Dawn, and you see a cannonball whizzing right at the hull of the ship near your cell. Can you roll me a reflex save?
Uh-oh. 15.
Jhuls, as the cannonball whistles towards the ship, you dive out of the way as it blasts through the hole, and you are covered in shrapnel as you cover your head and brace, taking 2 damage, and you slowly stand to your feet as the shell shock rings in your ears. You hazily turn your head back to the cell door and see that the cannon has destroyed the bars that restrained you. What do you do?
I look back at the hole and I say, "Tough, what have we gotten ourselves into this time?" And then I'll step out of my cell and I'll grab the trident that Perry stabbed in the floor and maybe do a little flip with it, and then start going up on top of the deck looking for Perry.
Ooh, all right. You run up the stairs. You emerge on the upper deck and see complete chaos as the Black Dawn is now coming full speed towards the Fancy Feather. You know they're preparing to board. You see pirates of the Fancy Feather running around, trying to arm cannons, loading guns, handing out weapons, yelling out commands. And 2 deckhands look at you. One, a Gripply, so a frog-like creature, and the other, a lizard folk. "Hey, wait, that's the prisoner. Oh, kill him." And they pull out hatchets and start to run at you. Can you roll me initiative?
Oh, here we go.
What kind of initiative? Just regular?
Perception.
10.
Jhuls, the Gripply, leaps forward. He goes to swing his axe at you, and you raise your trident, block the first one, and duck under the second swipe, and then he's going to try and push you back down the stairs. And that definitely doesn't beat your Fortitude DC. So as he goes to push you, you jab the butt of your trident outward, meeting him in the stomach, sending him backwards as his hands swipe at air. It is your turn.
I'd like to make a perception check to see if I can find Perry.
All right.
15.
You're looking through the upper deck. There's chaos everywhere, everyone running around. But of course, you hear the flamboyant Captain Perry say, "Have no fear! We are the Fancy Feather! The Black Dawn is no match for Captain Perry's crew! Have no fear!" And everyone's kind of like, "Oh crap, we're so screwed." He is on the opposite side of the crowd in this moment.
I'll hit the Gripply with the butt of my trident across the face.
You're trying to do non-lethal damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is a 20.
That hits. Non-nat 20?
Yeah, not that 20.
Okay. Roll damage.
5.
You jab him in the throat, and he gasps for air and stumbles backwards, but he is still upright. What do you do with your third action?
I'll throw the trident at the lizard folk.
Oh, nice.
And that is 22.
Nice.
That hits. Roll damage.
7.
All right. So after you do that, you throw the trident over the shoulder of the Gripply as the lizard folk is preparing to rush at you, and it stabs him in the chest, stops his momentum dead as he flies backwards and hits the deck of the ship, sliding. You have defeated the lizard folk, and the Gripply is still gasping for air.
I don't have time for this.
The Gripply is gasping for air, and then it readies itself and is going to try and swing its axe again. Misses, and then is going to try and trip you. Sweeps his webbed foot, and you jump over it and land in front of him again, and it is your turn.
I just want to push him down.
All right, go for it.
16.
All right. Without even looking at him after landing, just kick your foot backwards and kick him directly in the stomach, and he starts to tumble down the stairs, and you hear him rolling down into the cell beneath the ship.
Excellent. And then I will go grab my trident and start making my way through the crowd towards Perry.
Right, you pull your trident out of the lizard folk. You start to make your way towards Perry, and the Black Dawn readies itself to board the Fancy Feather. You see many pirates swinging by ropes coming onto the ship. You see Captain Perry with his rapier stabbing many of these pirates the second their feet touch the deck, but you see a few of them slash at him, bloodying him. You can tell he's getting somewhat weakened, but he's cutting his way through all of these pirates. And in that moment, you also briefly see what is clearly the Bard of the Black Dawn swinging over, blowing their trumpet triumphantly, trying to motivate the crew of the Black Dawn, and they are shot in the throat as they're playing and do a backflip and then land on the deck of the Fancy Feather, sliding across the deck. And you also see a skeleton swing onto the
Whoa.
ship and a rat folk, which will bring us to Joel and Terran's
There we go.
NPCs. Joel, would you like to describe your NPC?
My NPC is a little rat folk man named Scurvy Slicktail. He grew up reading pirate stories and eventually got himself on a crew, but isn't so sure about how things have worked out. Things a little bit in over his head.
Especially after seeing the bard get shot in the throat.
This didn't happen in the children's books.
All right, Taryn, what do you got?
So I'm pretty much like your average-looking skeleton with a pirate hat and a sword.
Cool.
Do you have other clothes on, or is it just the hat?
No, just
and
the hat.
sword?
Just the hat and the sword.
You're like a Halloween costume.
This is straight up skeleton, bro.
Yeah.
Taryn just hit default character on character creator.
He was guarding a dungeon for a dark wizard that he was controlled by for a while, but some people defeated the dark wizard, and he just kind of started wandering the world.
Does he have eyes?
Needing some new
Yeah,
work.
he's no, he doesn't have eyes.
But he has an eye patch.
but he's got an eye patch.
So basically, you were like a low-level enemy in a necromancer's dungeon, and a D&D party
Yeah,
came by
exactly.
and killed the necromancer. So you just like wandered out into the world and became a pirate.
Yeah, I just
love
saw the
so
ocean
funny.
for the first time in a while since I've been dead, and I was like, wow, I always wanted to be a pirate. And so it's never too late. That's I don't know, I guess take that. That's a metaphor
What a great
for life.
message,
It's never
you know?
too late to be what you want to be in life.
Right?
Wow, that's
I
touching.
love that.
What's your
Thank you,
name?
And what's your skeleton's name?
Hansel.
Oh.
Okay. So Hansel and Scurvy Slicktail begin defeating members of the Fancy Feather,
Oh, I'm sorry.
slicing their way through the crew.
Is what Scurvy does like all accidental?
I
Or is
think
he,
so.
like-
I think he's. Yeah, I think so.
Gosh, how many times do we have to tell you guys the Fancy Feather to freaking cut it out? Gosh.
It sounds like Owen Wilson.
I was going for Owen Wilson.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Earl Wilson, that's pretty good. Wow.
Hansel.
Okay, yeah.
Gosh.
Yep.
All right, Jhuls, you make your way past some of the members of the Black Dawn, the Fancy Feather, weaving through the crowd, and you see Captain Perry, who has just bested a member of the Black Dawn. There's a new fearsome captain of the Silvera! You know his name, you know his ship. He is Captain Perry of the Fancy Feather! And then he takes out your ocarina and just horribly blows like the worst sound you've ever seen come out of it.
Oh.
And then he puts it back in his satchel.
I want to sleight of hand a pistol off of a nearby pirate.
Okay, roll me a thievery check.
17.
All right. So there's a member of the Fancy Feather and a member of the Black Dawn in a sword battle, and you see the Fancy Feather pirate just has a pistol on a holster, and you sort of just reach over and pull it right out.
I'll take that, and then I'll continue walking to Perry. Hey, Perry.
He squawks. What? Huh?
I warned you what would happen if I got out. And then I'll go to attack him with my trident.
I don't think you have time to pluck all my feathers out. And he takes out his rapier and starts to scoot towards you with the rapier out in front of him. Just very
I wish
obnoxiously
you all could see what
scooting
Zach is
with
doing right
perfect
now.
posture. He's got like his left hand on his hip curled outwards with his elbow flared out as he just scoots across the deck.
Doing a great
On
job
guard!
describing it, though.
You Azarketti swine! Roll initiative.
Non-nat 20.
Oh yeah, you definitely beat him. As he obnoxiously scoots along the deck.
I'll go to move it out of the way. Ooh, maybe not. 12?
That misses, so you thrust your trident outwards, and Perry perfectly parries your blow.
There it is.
What do you think the name came from, you fool? You thought it was because I was a parrot? It's because I'm very good at parrying, you fool!
Shut up! And I'll go to attack him again. That's better. 21.
That hits.
Ooh, max damage, 9.
All right, so you go to do the same move, but your trident is still retracted, so he is accounting for the spacing of your weapon at its current length, and right as you thrust, you extend it outwards, lengthening your blade, and it makes contact before you expected it, and it stabs deep into his thigh, and you rip it out, and blood drips down his fine captain's garb. Ow! What the heck? I didn't know it could extend! That's not fair! Where is your honor, sir?
Oh, man.
There's no honor amongst thieves.
You're the thief! Oh, well, I guess I stole from Crookfang. Okay, that makes sense.
And for my last action, I'd like to make a perception check to see if there's anything I can use around me for the fight. We're on a pirate ship. Get better position or whatever. That is a 18.
Okay, you see some members of the Fancy Feather coming over with a large bag, and they set it down on the ground. Start grabbing grenades! Oh, all right. And they reach into the bag and they pull out these little bombs with fuses, and they start lighting them and tossing them over onto the Black Dawn. You hear explosions, and there is a crew member just feeding grenades to the grenadiers of the ship as they're hurling it over to the Black Dawn. And that'll take us to Captain Perry. Dang it. Okay. Ooh, all right. And he starts to twirl his sword and scoot around. You've never seen anyone fight like me. You think you have your fancy fork? Well, I have my rapier. So get ready. Oh my gosh, dude, I literally just now.
Yes. How does it feel?
Get wrecked.
No, I could have like written that in there. Shall I roll a percentage die?
Do it.
Do
course.
I am not joking. He rolled a 99.
What?
Dang.
So he succeeds.
Yeah, but in a stupid way.
Totally makes
let's
sense.
see. As he obnoxiously scoots forward, his foot catches on his other foot, and he trips and stumbles forward and stabs Jhuls really hard in the foot. For
That really hurt.
4 damage. Oh, I totally meant to do that. Yeah, take that in the foot. It's a foot attack. You've never seen that before, have you? You stab in the thigh, I stab in the foot, fool.
You're a loony.
I'm going to miss this guy so much.
I am too.
And he's going to roll his second attack and misses. So he does this very extravagant twirling and whipping. You hear his rapier just whipping through the air as he's trying to distract you. And then he does a very telegraphed lunge after that, and you just catch it in your trident and shove it off to the side. Oh, okay. You know what you're doing a little bit. Okay, how about this? And he's going to thrust his third attack and definitely misses with all the penalties. And he thrusts out immediately, and you again knock it out of the way with your trident, and that takes us back to you, Jhuls.
I want to take the pistol out, and I'll point it at him first, but then I'll slowly aim it at the guy throwing grenades,
Okay.
and I'll say, Perry, you talk too much. And then I'll shoot at the grenade guy.
Okay, roll an attack.
17.
All right, you aim the pistol at Perry, then aim over his shoulder and fire. It whizzes past his head as he winces, closing his eyes, raising his shoulders to his ears, and then he lowers them. Ha ha! You missed! You are as bad with the pistol as you are with the trident. And you do hit the grenadier as he falls to a knee and drops his lit grenade that rolls towards Captain Perry.
Did I miss?
What? And he looks over, sees the grenade roll to his feet, and he goes, "Oh, crap!" And then it explodes, and you see a puff of feathers fly outwards and trickles down onto the deck of the ship, and you know you have completely wasted Captain Perry.
I'll go. I'm assuming there's some body left.
Yes, there's a little bit. Yeah, there's some remains.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'll go over there and loot my stuff back. Hopefully it's intact.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
It's durable material.
So
it
as
wasn't like a massive bomb, but it was enough to blow him up when it's right underneath his feet. And it was protected in his satchel as well.
Cool. I'll kneel down and as I'm collecting that stuff, I'll say, "You always were explosively colorful."
And as you regather your gear, you stand up and turn around and see the Black Dawn has overtaken the ship. And you turn and see a skeleton and a rat folk staring at you that clearly just observed you defeat the captain of the Fancy Feather, knowing that you are on their side. What do you guys do?
I'll walk up to this creature. Hey, why'd you do that? Isn't this guy part of your ship? Isn't that your captain?
That's too good.
Jhuls, you're literally looking at a skeleton with only a hat on,
An eye patch.
no eyes, and an eye patch.
Have I ever seen this before?
Perhaps, but definitely not this up close.
I'll start to raise a finger to touch him and then realize that's probably rude and bring my finger back.
No, go ahead. Listen, happens all the time. People always want to touch the skeleton. Go ahead.
That's all right.
Listen,
look,
I know, I
I
understand. It's not something you see every day. It's just a skeleton walking around in a pirate outfit. I know, it's
It
weird.
is fascinating.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, I don't want to sound rude, but do you not want to wear clothes?
Gosh, I guess I just never thought it was necessary. I don't really have any skin, and I think that's what people are hiding under all them clothes, you know?
That's fair. Listen,
That's exactly what's the reason.
They're hiding their skeleton.
I don't associate with this pile of feathers. I was their prisoner.
You were a prisoner? Wow. Gosh, how was that?
How was being a prisoner?
Yeah, gosh, you know, I used to work in a dungeon myself until a dark wizard got defeated by some adventurers, which, thank goodness, because now I can live my life how I want to. I'm a pirate now. I've always wanted to be a pirate.
Well, I'm very happy for you. I certainly can understand gaining one's freedom. Listen, are you going to kill me?
No, hey, listen, this is actually my buddy Scurvy.
Oh, this is all a bit much for me. I mean, I just seen what you did there. I think I might just go back.
Hey, nonsense, Scurvy. Come on. Hey, this guy's cool. What's your name again, guy?
My name is Jhuls.
Yeah, this is Jhuls. Jhuls is cool. He killed the captain of this Fancy Feather here.
I saw that, but don't you think that Crookfing's gonna be pretty upset that he did that?
God, nonsense. He'll be happy. Crookfing hates this guy.
Oh, I don't know. He's I think he wanted to kill him himself.
Jhuls, hey, don't worry about it. Crookfing's a nice guy. You got nothing to worry about.
And as you say that, a bridge is dropped between the two ships, and pirates form up and prepare for the arrival of Crookfang. You see a bugbear, tall lean and menacing, with a dark beard with silver strands in it. He has a large gash on one of his eyes and a white pupil, and his infamous crooked fang that is always sticking
I
out
get it.
from his lips.
Oh, nice.
And, of course, a prominent pirate hat. And he makes his way onto the ship and says, "Where's that annoying pile of feathers?"
Jhuls will gulp.
Crookfang, he's already dead, man. This guy killed him.
Crookfang slowly turns his head. "The Azoketi?"
Yeah, it turns out he was a prisoner here. He didn't want to be here. He was trying to help. He's a good guy.
Crookfang slowly walks to the three of you, taking note of all of the dead bodies on the upper deck, scanning, looks towards the burnt ash and the cluster of feathers that surround it, and then looks to you, Jhuls.
I'll tilt my head down a little bit, not make eye contact.
"You killed Captain Perry?
Yes, I'm afraid I did.
What are you doing on this ship anyway? Was this a mutiny?"
No, I was his prisoner. My fellow crewmate and I, we stole a item of significance from Perry, and he caught up with us and fired a cannon at us, destroying our ship. He killed my friend, took me prisoner.
"I see. It's a matter of vengeance then, is it?"
Aye.
"No harm in that. I'm not one to stand between a man and his vengeance. You mentioned he had some loot. Where is it?"
It's right here. And I'll nervously take it out of my pack and raise it up to him.
You see the reflection of this ornate orb in his all-white eye as you see greed overtake his face, and he simply reaches out and takes it from you without asking. What do you do?
I'll grip it tightly just for the slightest moment, just thinking of tough, but then I won't fight him too much. I'll hand it over.
He takes it, studies it. You see a grin come across, revealing more of his crooked fangs, and he puts it in his cloak and looks to you.
Are you going to kill me?
"Kill you? What's your name anyway?"
Jhuldas, but you can call me Jhuls.
You hear that? He says I can call him Jhuls.
Hey, yeah, that's his name. He said I can call him that too.
Yeah, he did say that.
He just shoots you guys daggers real quick, and then looks back
Oh,
at you.
jeez. Sorry.
"Well, Jhuls, you got a crew?"
My eyes will squint a little bit. I'll say, not anymore.
Well, what are your talents besides blowing up annoying parrots?
I can fight. I can handle water duties. But most of all, I'm a bard.
Bard.
Couldn't help but notice that you lost yours in your battle.
We did? Huh? He looks over, and then you just see the bard up against the mast, just completely annihilated.
Scurvy follows Crookfang's eyeline and just gets green in the face, gets sick.
Throws up overboard. "Well, seems we could use a bard. You don't play a horn, do you? I hate horns."
No, I play this, and I'll take my ocarina out.
"Well, seems you've passed your first test. Defeated a pirate captain. At least one that thinks they're formidable. Retrieved my loot, and, seems you could be of use to us. What do you say there, Jhuls? Do you want to be a member of the Black Dawn?"
I'll look out to the ocean. Just think through all the events that have happened in my life. Not really having much of a home or a place to go back to, so I'll look him in the eye and extend my hand and say, "I."
He is raising his hand about to shake it, and he looks you dead in the eyes, and he says, "When you join the Black Dawn, that's it. Nothing else matters. Forget the past. Forget whatever future you thought you'd have. You're not Jhuls anymore. Not while you're a member of this crew. Got it?"
I've got nothing to go back to. Understood, Captain.
He grabs your hand to shake it, and as he's shaking it, he says, "Right. Well then, you need a new name if you're not Jhuls anymore. You survived a sinking ship, you say?
Well, yeah, I can breathe underwater, so it's kind of hard to drown.
Not sure if you know much about pirates, mate. We're a superstitious bunch. When ships sink, the roosters float, so we carry them for good luck. Something you seem to have. So, rooster it is.
Bam.
Nice.
I'll smile. Rooster. I like that.
Good. Right, clean this mess up. And everybody, greet your new shipmate. And he takes off into the crowd.
See, Scurvy, I told you he wouldn't be mad.
Oh, don't talk to me. I can hardly keep anything down right now.
Yeah, those biscuits never sit well in your stomach, do they, Scurvy?
Oh, God.
Scurvy, are you all right? Is this pirate life for you?
Look, when I was a kid, I read lots of books about pirates, and, they always painted it in a lot more glamorous light than it turned out to be. I mean, look around. There's death everywhere. But I can't go back
Hey.
now. I shook the same hand you did.
That's very true. Life tends to turn out in ways that we didn't expect, doesn't it?
Oh, geez. Sure does.
What was your name?
Oh, sorry, that's so rude of me. I'm Hansel.
Hansel. What an interesting name for a skeleton.
Well, I wasn't always a skeleton there, Jhuls. Rooster.
How insensitive of me.
Ah, it's all right. I
I
give it
should've
all the
figured.
time.
What were you before?
I was a human.
Scurvy, you notice that Redfin, the first mate, who is very serious, very menacing lizard folk,
Mm-hmm.
is shooting daggers at you guys who are just sitting there shooting the breeze.
Scurvy will put his hands up to his head. Guys, I think we better help clean. Redfin's glaring at us.
Oh, gosh, you're right.
By all means, let's hop to it.
All right. So you start partaking in your first duties as a member of the Black Dawn.
Woohoo!
And with that, we'll do a little bit of a time jump. So, roughly a year has passed since you joined the Black Dawn, since you have partaken in many swashbuckling adventures and made yourself a trusted and valuable member of the crew. Now, the ship is approaching the Shaded Sea in search of the Compass of Amun-Ra, a device capable of locating magical artifacts of profound power. The waters are said to be guarded by the sea serpent, Serapis, a gargantuan beast known to devour ships whole. So, Jhuls, you are on the fringes of the Shaded Sea, accompanied by your friends Hansel and Scurvy, observing its ominous veil of fog looming on the horizon, faintly illuminated by Aquaria's twin moons. The entire crew is noticeably on edge as they wonder what tricks Captain Crookfang has up his sleeve to evade the jaws of Serapis.
Oi, Hansel, I'm pretty nervous about these seas. There's, the tail of the serpent. I don't see how we're gonna make it through.
Gosh, Scurvy, I gotta tell you, man, I already died once. I'm not gonna be very happy if I die again, man. I don't know if I'll stay a skeleton this time. I don't know what happens when I die a second time. I've only died once.
How does dying twice even work anyway, Hansel? And you look over and you see a scrawny but deceptively lean and strong halfling with short dreads and covered head to toe in nautical tattoos. So this is the ship's tattooist that is responsible for all of Jhuls' awesome tattoos, his rooster tattoo that he's mentioned in episode 3. And his name is Scratch.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
That's the thing, Scratch. I don't know. I've only died once.
Well, I hope we don't find out. But honestly, if you die, then that probably means I died too, so I don't really know. I guess I'll never know. Wait, am I going to turn into a skeleton too? Oh man, jeez.
Just
How
means
am I
you're
going to have
tough at the
tattoos? I
kill.
won't have any skin.
Yeah, you won't need all those clothes, though, if you don't have the skin, man.
I mean, that's not really a problem for other people. Like, people don't really think about having clothes as being weird. That's just you. Why do you always say that? I don't understand.
I just think it's some really interesting piece of information that I came across of being a skeleton, is we only wear clothes to hide our flesh, but I don't have any.
I don't understand what you're saying. but whatever.
Well, we need not worry, boys. Our captain's the fiercest on the seas. He's always got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, he's fierce, but he's also crazy. You kind of have to be if you're going to be the most feared captain in all of the Silvera.
That's true, though I wouldn't say it too loud. You know how he reacts when someone says the word crazy.
Well, I either get ripped apart by Captain Crookfang or I get eaten by a giant sea serpent. Doesn't really matter to me. All I know is if we get out of this, I'm definitely giving us all awesome sea serpent sleeves. What do you guys say?
I'm here for the tattoo, but man, gotta stop listening to this. It's making me nervous.
Well, I guess we'd have to shave you. I don't think I could really just give you a tattoo on your fur. Okay, yeah, I'll think about that later. It's not a big deal right now.
Gosh, I'm so jealous of your guys' tattoos.
I mean, I could draw on your bones or something.
Yeah, it just rubs off after a while. You know it's not the same as having skin scratch.
You know, he's talking about skin.
Yeah, you do talk about skin a lot, Hansel.
It's become a lot of my personality. I'm a skeleton.
You talk about like anything else other than skin?
Yeah. Seem to weave that into
Like,
every
seriously,
conversation
it's like every
we
conversation.
have. Yeah.
We're like literally like at the shaded sea, like we're all pretty sure we're gonna die, and you're here talking about skin and like clothes and like wearing clothes to hide your skin, and you don't have skin, and it's like what? I understand.
Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty scared too, guys. I guess I'm just trying to fill the dead air with something a little different than the thought of dying again.
I appreciate that. I don't know how much more of this talking I can take. What's your favorite color, Jhuls?
I suppose we can talk about that right now.
I don't want to talk about that.
All right.
Oh, geez.
What else you got next?
Favorite fish.
No, I don't want to talk about that either.
Hansel, help.
Jhuls, you feel a heavy tap on your shoulder, and you turn to see Ma, as you all call her. She is the boatswain. She is a turtle folk, a very kind and loving nature, and her duties on the ship are to make sure that all the supplies on the ship will last. She usually has a jolly disposition. She earned the nickname Ma because of her motherly presence and her smooth talking in dealing with traders. So she's kind of the matriarch of the ship, and she says,
Jhuls,
Oh, hey, Ma.
hello. This is how I talk. So, just get used to it now.
Well, Ma, how's the crew doing?
Very well, Jhuls. They're doing very, very well. Actually, no, they're not doing very well. I've done my best to calm them. I've given everyone blankets and just made sure
Oh,
they had
yeah,
a
we
good,
all love
good
blankets,
meal.
Ma.
Yeah. Normally the blankets do the trick, but,
Yep.
but this time it doesn't really seem like the
A
blankets
little
are
bit
doing the trick.
bigger
It-
stakes and the high, yeah.
Yes,
More dire.
yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, exactly. This is how I talk, I know.
Oh, yes, I know you talk, Ma. It's very
Yes,
comforting.
This is just how
It's been a year.
I just feel like everyone's kind of judging how I talk, so
No,
this
not
is
at
how I
all.
talk.
We love you, Ma.
Okay.
Isn't that right, boys? Don't we love Ma?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we sure
of
do.
course we do.
Great. Anyway, so I'm just having a tough time, controlling morale. And Jhuls, I gotta be honest. I think this would be a perfect time for you to just, do one of your songs. Get everyone's mind off of the, the giant sea serpent that's probably gonna eat our entire ship. So.
Oh, yeah,
that's
we
fair.
love
You-
your
you-
songs.
All right, boys,
Oh,
say no
yeah,
more.
See, they love. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll walk up to the front of the ship and maybe stand up on the bow, and I'll say, Avast, boys! Though we enter the domain of Serapis, we must stand steady. Are we not the crew of the infamous Black Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Think?
See, everyone, we are the crew of the Black Dawn. That's what I was telling them.
Scratch is like, yeah, we're the crew. Yes, you're right.
Do we not have a captain whose name brings fear across the waves beyond what eyes can see?
Certainly scares me.
That's true. It's a scary name.
Wait, do we have one? Do we not have a? I'm confused.
Don't worry. Let me continue.
It's okay. He's basically saying, never mind. It's fine. Just
Have we not faced a lifetime share of dangers that would bring a normal man to tears?
unfortunately, yes. He's correct.
Yeah, we have. Absolutely.
If this be our last adventure, then I'll meet you in the locker.
Oh, I know this song. Oh, here we go. Everybody, come on. We have a part in this one too. You know this one, right, guys?
And I'll start singing.
We slip through the waters in the dark of night, with wind in our sails and no end in sight. The blood moon foretold of a sea of red. A drink to my brothers is a drink to the dead. We slip through the waters in the dark of night, with wind in our sails and no end in sight. The blood moon foretold of a sea of red. A drink to my brothers is a drink to the dead. Our ship crashes through as she creaks and moans. Keep us afloat from Davy Jones. Taking in the air sends a chill to our lungs. We do it for our brothers, may they hear our song. We slip through the waters in the dark of night, with wind in our sails and no end in sight. The blood moon foretold of a sea of red. A drink to my brothers is a drink to the dead. We slip through the waters in the dark of night, with wind in our sails and no end in sight. The blood moon foretold of a sea of red. A drink to my brothers is a drink to the dead. Now if I've heard it once, I've heard 1,000 times. Have faith in the mother, she will provide. But I've seen tens of my brothers die. Are we not on our own? My brothers of the sea, now their story is heard. Listen close and heed my words. Don't let this tale be your own to tell, but if we meet in the depths, you can tell me in hell. We slip through the waters in the dark of night, with wind in our sails and no end in sight. The blood moon foretold of a sea of red. A drink to my brothers is a drink to the dead.
Jhuls, as the last verses of the song echo across the foggy waters, you notice a reinvigorated crew, focused, ready to do the unthinkable, ready to do yet another unbelievable feat as the crew of the Black Dawn. You have done your duties as the bard of this ship, and you have raised everyone's spirits, and they have a new look of determination.
Jhuls, that was a heck of a song. I feel bravery I've never felt before, and I think I have you to thank for that.
I put my hand on his shoulder. Scurvy, bravery is accepting your fear, but deciding to not let it define you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really like the flair at the end there, Rooster. Gets me every time.
I am a bit of a show-off, aren't I?
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
My man, now.
My man, Scratch.
High five. And then he, oddly high-fives your bony hand.
Thank you, Jhuls. That was very, very good. You did exactly what I was hoping for.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Ma. What a fine suggestion.
Yes.
You
Well, I'm
always know what we need.
Very in tune with the needs of the ship. It's
Yes,
my
you are.
job, after
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
It's my motherly nature. That's why they call me Ma, if you recall.
Yeah, I do. You're the best.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. She always does that, doesn't she?
Abruptly leaves. She has other things to worry about. Okay, Jhuls, as Ma abruptly exits over her shoulder, you see Redfin, the first mate of the Black Dawn, making his way towards you with his eyes locked on you, looking very serious.
I get some goosey bumps as he approaches.
He makes his way up to you and says, "Jhuls, Captain wants to see you in his quarters."
All right, coming right away. And I'll look to my fellow crewmates and give them a head nod.
We'll see you later, Rooster.
Yeah, Rooster, see you in a couple minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a bit, fellas. Scratch, I'm gonna hold you to that tattoo.
Oh yeah, I got big ideas, man. I'm talking this thing's gonna start on like the top of your hand and just work all the way up the shoulder. Heck, I could even go up to the neck. I could even do it in the face. You into face tattoos, Jhuls? Nah, I don't know. I don't think you're quite ready for that. You got a beautiful face. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just love talking about tattoos and skin, I guess.
I think I left at this point.
Okay, see ya. Bye. Jhuls, you notice as you're leaving that Redfin is escorting you, which maybe feels a little odd because you know how to get to the captain's quarters.
Redfin, do you know what this is about?
He looks at you with his brow cocked.
What do you think, Rooster? I'm the first mate.
So, yes.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
Thought I almost got you there. One of these days, I'm gonna get through that tough exterior.
Yeah, he doesn't react. You make your way up to the captain's quarters. He opens the door and gestures you inside.
Thank you, Redfin. And I'll walk inside.
He walks in behind you and closes the door.
Okay.
And he puts his back against the door and crosses his arms.
I'll turn to look at him and turn back and maybe gulp and step forward closer to... I'm assuming he's got a desk or something he's at.
Yep. So you see Crookfang with his back to you, and he's sifting amongst the top cupboards in his quarters, and you see him pull out a bottle of whiskey, and he gestures to a chair.
Take a seat, Rooster.
Captain, what can I help you with?
Well, for now, we're just gonna have a drink. You like whiskey?
Wonderful. Yes, I do. Quite a lot, in fact. I'm more partial for rum, but...
That's the cheap stuff. That's why we give it to the crew. This is top shelf.
Oh.
From Goldplane on Mortifer.
Well, I'm certainly not going to turn that down.
Good.
He takes out 2 glasses, pours them up, slides it over to you, and then he takes a seat in his chair.
I'll nervously grab the glass and tilt it towards him and slowly take a sip.
He takes a sip as well, looks out one of the portholes, and then back to you.
You know, Rooster, it's not often that I do this, but I want to thank you. You've been a faithful member of this crew for some time now. The morale's never been higher, and the shanties have certainly improved.
Oh, I'll relax a little bit after hearing that. Thank you, Captain. I've certainly enjoyed my time here, serving under your fine leadership, and this crew is the finest I've ever seen. I thank you for the experience and the opportunity to do what I do best.
He strokes his beard like he's thinking.
And I suppose I never really thanked you for securing the orb. You know, from Captain Perry. That was no small feat. And the orb is actually why we're here. It's a map, see? To the compass.
A map?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, leave it to pirates to go after the most convoluted treasure. A map to a compass. Ridiculous.
I'll take another drink, chuckle a little bit.
He takes another drink as well.
You know what this compass does, right, Rooster?
Finds more powerful artifacts elsewhere, yes?
Yes, but not just any artifacts. Artifacts made with the old magic. You know of old magic?
I can't say I do.
Well, legend goes, in Caldora's infancy, magic was a lot more potent than it is now. It's what they call old magic. It's what spawned much of creation. And some magic users were able to harness it to make very, very powerful artifacts. Things we could never hope to replicate with the type of magic we have now. Or so they say. Whoever has this compass, there's no telling what things they could find, or what they could do with it. I dare say, there isn't anything more valuable in all of Aquaria.
Certainly sounds so. I guess my only question is, why tell me all of this?
Well, I'm gonna need your help again, Rooster.
Sure. Always down to help out my captain.
He sort of cracks a smile, revealing only his crooked fang, but it quickly fades, and he looks down, kind of nodding to himself.
You see, several months ago, I was confronted by a dwarf. Didn't get a good look at him. Always had his hood up. Bushy white beard, bushy brow, that sort of thing. Seemed to know a lot about the orb and the compass. Even knew I had it. Strange. Anyways, he said he would pay very handsomely if I were able to retrieve it for him. I thought it was a little ridiculous. What could be more valuable than the compass? Put me a little on edge. I was wary of the man. Didn't get a good feeling from him. Not at first. I even felt cold around him. But for some reason, I felt compelled by him, compelled by his offer, especially after he paid half the reward up front.
And he gestures over to a chest in the corner. You quickly glance at it, and it's this very ornate-looking chest, but most notable to you is there is a sigil on the chest of a 3-pronged flame encased in a diamond. But he continues speaking, and you look back at him.
I'm not one to turn down a payday. We're pirates after all. But I wasn't about to sail my crew into the jaws of Serapis without a plan. The old dwarf told me there's one thing the wretched serpent craves more than any wandering ship. Supposedly, they have a deep-rooted hatred for the ones that banished him to the shaded sea long ago, in the time before time. An event lost to the depths of history, he says.
Well, what is it?
He raises his glass to his lips, finishes the remainder of his whiskey, sets it down and wipes his lips, and looks like he's thinking long and hard before he says what he's about to say. And he looks at you with a hint of remorse in his eyes, and he says,
As Arquetes.
and as he says that, you feel Redfin's hands grip your shoulders and rip
What?
you out
No.
of your seat and starts
No,
to
wait.
drag you onto the deck of the ship.
Wait, let's talk about this.
Hansel and Scurvy, you see Rooster dragged onto the deck of the ship by Redfin, fighting him every step of the way.
Oi.
Whoa, hey, Redfin, what are you doing? Come on, let him go.
Stay back. Back.
Listen, hey, let's talk about this. What's the deal here? What did he do wrong?
They're gonna throw me overboard.
Why? What are you doing that for?
Yeah, what are you gonna
Redfin?
do that for?
Restrain him.
Surely you ain't done nothing wrong.
A couple more loyal shipmates run up and start to fasten chains around Jhuls, tightly around his ankles, his hands behind his back.
You can't do this. After all I've done, my voice is going away.
Crookfang steps out onto the ship as you're fighting against Redfin, standing passively off to the side as another crew member comes out with a cannonball that they then
Alright.
begin to fasten the chains around as well.
In a moment of bravery, Scurvy is gonna run up. Wait, this isn't right. You guys can't be doing this. It's not fair. He's just gonna kind of wrestle with Jhuls, trying to get him untied and save him.
Scurvy, as you run up to put your hands on your friend Rooster and try and free him from the restraints, empowered with the bravery still ringing in you from Rooster's song, but as you reach out, you feel cold as you're pierced through the heart by a rapier and lock eyes with Redfin. And he says,
There's no stopping this, mate.
and he pulls it out of your heart as blood drains down onto the deck of the ship.
No.
Scurvy, no.
I think it still sounds sarcastic. Like, oh no. Eye roll.
He had so much skin.
Gosh, he was one of my greatest friends, and you killed him, Red Wing.
It's Redfin, idiot.
Jhuls, as they fasten you to the cannonball and open the gate on the walls of the ship, normally reserved for docking, Jhuls, Redfin takes your trident, takes your ocarina, and whatever bag carried the remainder of your belongings and rips it from you. Crookfang steps in front of you and says,
It's for the betterment of the crew, mate. Thank you for your service.
and he nods, and Redfin kicks the cannonball that rolls over the edge of the ship. You feel your feet pulled out from underneath you as you slam onto the deck and slide overboard into the depths of the water, being pulled deep into the dark ocean, and you're sucked downwards
Crap.
as the cannonball rests on the ocean floor, and you look up and see the bottom of the Black Dawn and the faint trace of the moonlight overhead. What do you do?
I'm gonna look around frantically. very nervous about the fact that there's a sea serpent somewhere nearby. But I'm just going to start trying to escape this ball and chain.
Roll me a thievery check.
That is a 7.
Jhuls, you fidget in these restraints. You know they're very tight. Your arms are bound behind your back. You're bound at the ankles. The cannonball has you suctioned to the ocean floor, and you desperately squirm, but are unable to break free.
Crap.
Hansel, back on the deck of the ship, you see some members of the crew looking sad. Some of them are still fighting amongst themselves. Redfin's telling everyone to get back to work, and you simply look and see all of Jhuls' belongings momentarily forgotten by Redfin as he casts out orders.
I will sprint over there and try and grab those.
All right. You, in a brief moment, with no eyes on Jhuls' possessions, you manage to run over and scoop them off the deck, and Redfin says,
I've been looking for an excuse to kill you.
and he whips out his scimitar and starts to chase after you.
No, wait, we can talk about this. We can talk about this. And I'll immediately toss him overboard into where Jhuls was kicked off.
Okay, as you toss them over your shoulder and have this, like, your arms raised saying, like, we can talk about this. He just, like, runs up and, like, baseball swings and just takes your head clean off of your body.
What?
And then your skeleton just breaks like brittle glass and your bones fall on the floor. And your head is sent flying towards the moonlight and drops like a pebble in the water.
Wow, I guess I do get a third life.
That's great. Jhuls, over your shoulder, you see all of your belongings slowly sinking to the depths as well, a mere 20 feet from you.
Can I make a perception check for any semi-large sea creatures around me? That is an 18.
Jhuls, so as you're frantically searching, looking for something to get you out of this or seeing if any threats are coming, you notice a school of quipperfish swimming amidst a coral reef nearby, and you know them to have very powerful jaws.
Using my ability to talk with sea creatures of a certain status, I will call over to them. Friends, I need you to free me of these binds. Bite through the chains, quickly.
The school of fish all turn their heads rapidly. You know that many fish revere Azarketes, and they begin to swim over rapidly, frantically churning around your chains, biting first at the chains on your hands, biting clean through the metal chains, freeing your hands, and they begin to work on the chain restraining you to the cannonball. Can you roll me a perception check?
15.
Jhuls, you look up overhead and see that the Black Dawn has already started sailing onward towards the shaded sea, and you look forward into the dark bowels of the ocean, and you feel like you can hear some sort of rumble approaching, a disturbance in the water. And as you stare
I don't like it.
into the darkness, a brief flash of lightning crackles overhead and reveals for a brief moment the figure of Serapis, his monstrous sea serpent head slithering through the water. You then hear its hiss ripple through the water towards you and fixate on his now glowing red eyes. And the quipperfish whip their heads around, seeing this gargantuan beast, something they fear greatly, and they scatter with one link in your chain remaining partially fractured and bent as Serapis begins to churn his way towards you. What do you do?
I don't know why I just rolled there. I want to.
So nervous. He's just like, can I roll?
I want to attempt to escape.
Okay, roll me an athletics check as you just try to use your strength to overpower the fragile link in the chain.
16.
You thrust upwards, trying your best to swim using the power of your now freed hands, and the chain stretches some, but you cannot break it, and Serapis begins to swim faster towards you as he growls. You want to try again? I'm guessing you do.
Yeah.
All right, give me another
No,
roll.
I'm gonna give up here. 17.
You try one more time, pushing even more powerfully, conjuring all the strength in your body, doing your best to swim upward, and you break the remaining link in the chain as it falls from your ankles. What do you do?
I immediately swim to get my gear.
All right, you swim powerfully towards your gear. It is very close by. You move quickly through the water as you feel the suction as Serapis's mass pulls you towards him. You continue to swim as strongly as you can. You don't know where you're going to go. He is gaining on you. He is fixated on you. You assume he is able to smell you wherever you are, as he quickly came once you were dropped into the ocean. Can you roll me a perception check?
16.
Jhuls, as you frantically swim, you're darting your eyes back and forth, perhaps looking for some sort of shelter in the coral reef. Anything that can protect you from Serapis, though you assume he could devour anything you could find in an instant. And something immediately grabs your attention as you feel like you see Kyra in the distance, your long-lost love from Sidonia, beckoning you towards her as she swims over a cluster of rocks and disappears as she swims deeper into the ocean. What do you do?
Kyra? I'll assess the situation again, maybe try to time my moment, and then follow where she went.
All right, Jhuls, you start to swim after her as fast as you can. You're doing your best to weave through rock formations as Serapis then begins to graze against the bottom of the ocean floor, kicking up sand, creating haze as he blasts through boulders after you, opening his jaws, roaring as he slithers towards you. You're swimming with all of your might. You're managing to keep some sort of distance from him, though you don't know how long you can keep this up. And as you crest over the rocks that Kyra disappeared behind, you see a glowing light on the ocean floor. You see Kyra standing atop what you believe to be a node, something you've heard of before but never experienced yourself. A stone circular platform on the ocean floor, etched with glowing runes that are beginning to swirl, and she is beckoning you towards her. What do you do?
I stop for a moment and I look around. I take a deep breath, and then I kick off the rocks and frantically swim towards the node. Just don't look back. Think of Kyra, think of my home, think of Tuff and Scurvy and Hansel, and I just want to get out of here.
Jhuls, as you kick off the rock, it is instantly destroyed by Serapis as he blasts through it after you, hot on your tail. You torpedo through the water, propelled by this kick. You approach the node. Kyra has her hand outstretched towards you, and your feet rest on the node as she fades into nothing. And you turn around and see Serapis, his jaws wide open, ready to clamp down on you, and then lights flare upwards as the node ignites with magic. You feel like you are ripped across the system as you travel what feels like trillions of miles in an instant. Your mind is flooded with the vision of a circular doorway bearing the sigil of an encircled star, and you hear a chorus of voices say, "Septum Solus." And suddenly, you find yourself on the depths of a different ocean, with sun shining overhead, dancing through the water. You're in shallow depths, absorbing the sunlight. You look around, you see the node you are standing on, its magic fading, and you see, to your delight, no gargantuan sea serpent pursuing you. You look around and do not see Kyra, and you swim to the surface and see off in the distance a quaint island nearby. What do you do?
I'll take a moment to just compose myself, I'll turn back to the direction of the node and I'll hiss at it to hopefully travels back to Serapis. And then I'll start swimming towards the island.
Jhuls, you quickly swim towards the island, eager to make landfall where no serpents can find you. And you step on to a white, sandy beach. And in the distance, you see a wagon with a few passengers. What do you do?
I'll raise my fishy hand and I'll say, "Ahoy there!"
A short, half-lean man steering the wagon, wearing green overalls with no shirt underneath and a big straw hat, whips his head around and says, ahoy! And that is where we'll end.
We did it.
Digsy's back. Yeah,
We did it.
Digsy's back. Yeah.
We did it.
And
Dude,
that
let's talk about that.
is- whoa, Taryn, sorry. What did you just say? Taryn,
Taryn,
hold on. No,
I
everyone
think he
shut
said
up. What did you
talk
just say,
about
Taryn?
it.
Yeah, I said let's talk
Taryn,
about this,
shut up,
guys.
because we talk about that in the
Got
downtime,
it.
which is for patrons, where we react to the most recent episodes. So if you want to hear us break down how this origin episode was made, how it came to be, and just hear us talk about it, then yeah, check that out. I just want to thank all of our listeners. You guys are amazing. You guys are what makes us a podcast. We really, really appreciate it. All the feedback, all of the comments, all of the posts, all of the recommendations, everything. It's the fuel that keeps us going, so thank you so much, and thank you for sticking with us. We really, really appreciate it. I just want to thank Joel, who does all of our editing for vocals. I'm assuming this is going to be a pretty big episode, so yeah, Joel, you're a hero. Thank you, man, for just sitting
You
there,
bet.
getting rid of all of our lip smacks, all of our chair squeaks. Every time Ryan thinks he's funny and makes a stupid joke, and you got to cut it out, and you know, all that stuff,
Right.
things like that.
Thanks.
Thanks. And yeah, so thank you, Joel. And I'd like to thank Taryn, who does all of our sound effects. That's just really is what brings these episodes to life. So otherwise, it's just me saying, "Hey, there's a Serapis and he's coming." No, Taryn puts in all the roars, all the hisses, all the rushing water, all that stuff that just really paints the scene. So Taryn, thank you for painting the picture I never could. So yeah, thank you, Taryn. And I would like to thank Adam, who does all of our original artwork. Yeah, so we do Patreon sketches every week, and this dude's like churning out like 8-panel comic books. Like we call them sketches. It's just because of alliteration. It's not because these are simple sketches. This dude goes hard, and if you're a patron, you get to say, "Hey, Adam, draw this," and vote on it, and he will draw it, and it is amazing. So you should check that out. It's very, very cool.
Thank
Thank you for doing
you.
that, Adam. And I'd like to thank Ryan, who does all of our original music. So, you know, the beautiful ocarina when Jhuls was playing in the tavern, this thing we painted to be this amazing tune. Yeah, we're like, "Ryan, hey, we made this sound like this really epic tune.
No
can you
pressure.
just
Figure it
do that
out."
real quick?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah." And then he does, and then he goes into the lab and he cranks out these sick bangers. And yeah, it really enhances the scene as well. So thank you for doing that, Ryan. You are the man. Gosh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Man, I love you guys.
Hey,
All right.
I'd just like to thank you, Zach, for all you do.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I just
Zach.
got to do
I-
my episode, so I feel like I can speak for Ryan and Taryn when I say it's awesome when you just give us a chance to have an episode be all about us.
These
and
are
be
super
really
fun. I love
awesome.
watching you. Yep.
Yeah,
Hold on. We'll
what
talk
is
about
that
the
like?
downtime. That's a downtime thing, guys. Hey, we'll get to you eventually.
Well, I just
guys.
wanted to say thank you, Zach.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead. Go
this
ahead.
again.
That was
This is
it.
actually what the downtime
I wa-
is.
I
It's
wanna
everyone
say-
thanking me. So you're
I
actually.
want to say thank you, Zach, because the viewers don't know this, but he does a lot of editing sometimes too.
That is
Whenever
true.
me or Joel
Mhm.
can't do it, he'll either do all the SFX or the editing of other episodes. So he does a lot that you don't even know about that he does
Yeah.
get thanked for.
Well,
We like to
cool.
pretend he doesn't do it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they are the ones who actually do it all the time. So thank you, guys. And hey, thank you, listeners. And also there was a guy on YouTube, and he's only on like episode 4 or something. He said that every time at the end of the episode I say, "See you next time, mortals," and he feels sad for the portals because we never acknowledge the portals. So here we are on Jhuls' origin. If that guy stuck with us and he listened through all the way to the end, you know, he goes like 20 episodes later, he's gonna hear it, and here it is, man. And we'll see you next time, mortals and portals.
I'll notice that, and then I'll look back to the ladies and say, maybe some other time. Oh my god.
Oh, it did crack.
There's the blooper.
Maybe some other time.
They're like, "Oh, never mind."
I'm a better ocarina player than a singer.